and it is called The Tire Story. So you say it better than I do, so I want you to kind of go over, where it was at, how it went down, and then what the customer basically, what the takeaway was, and why it's a success story.
Okay, so it happened in 1979 in an Alaska store, Fairbanks, and a customer comes walking into the store with a pair of old used tires and says, "I want to return these. I do not have a receipt."
And he walks into men's clothing.
Yeah.
And this guy's like,
Right. And so he had to figure out, the customer was insistent. He said, I think he first said, "I'm sorry, this is a clothing store."
Yeah.
He's trying to,
Or he must be confused.
Right,
down
right.
the street or whatever.
And so the customer said, "No, I bought these here." And so he says, "Okay." And so he just called like a random tire store, and they worked with him over the phone to try to figure out how much the tire was worth.
Yeah.
The 2 tires were worth. And, they were worn. He had to get out his measuring tape.
To see how much the cost would be back to the client.
Right. And ended up being $25.
Wow.
So he gave him his $25 back, and the customer was happy. He took his money and left. But the whole story was the customer was right.
Yeah.
Because he really did purchase them in that building
That has changed
2 years before.
Right. Just changed ownership, so now Nordstrom's owns the store, and then of course he comes in there like, "Hey, I bought this here, and you guys told me it was a guarantee." So that's pretty crazy. And then the big thing about this story that we're thinking about, and we got 2 other ones, so this is all going to be the same thread, but the big thing on this one was, number one, it's just instilled as the story of all stories for doing great customer service, doing the right thing for the customer, which is really what's drilled into you early on. We're in our early 20s, working at Nordstrom, and this is like the first story you hear about is the tire story, along with some others. But it just gives you an idea of how important it is to do the right thing for the customer